Hi, it's Mine Crypto here. I hope we're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world.
Remember, this isn't financial advice. Always do your own research.
Mine Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. I know I am. The title of the video is No Activity. Let's settle this debate. But first and foremost, we look at the crypto bubbles. We are ranked 38 with a price of $89.09. We have a market cap of 1.08 billion and a 24-hour volume of 10.96 million. We are up 0.3% in the hour, down 1.3% in the day, down 3.4% in the week, and down 11.4% in the month. Yes, as I always say, I'm personally holding for the long term. This price action does not bother me in the slightest, and I'm about to tell you why. Now, I see this quite a lot. My man, Miles Bron, and it has been 18 days since the last post on X. Any updates from Quant? And this is absolutely fine. I think people are looking for some answers. Why we've not had any communication from the team. But as we see here from Sebastian, GV keeps on going. No communication on X doesn't mean stand still in this man's head. Have a look at all the likes and shout outs. You'll see how well connected Mr. Gilbert Verdian is. And unsure when this was actually released on LinkedIn, but it says 1 week ago. At Quant, we have been working very closely with academia since the beginning of our company, collaborating with leading institutions like UCL, MIT, King's College London, and Hamburg University of Applied Sciences. Yesterday, we had the final projects and presentations from this year's UCL MSc students who have been working closely with our team on blockchain research topics to explore and present. The students presented their research around core topic of interoperability, privacy, and proofs. Corda to Ethereum interoperability for CBDC transfer use case, wholesale retail, cross-chain, app chain as a service to automatically spin up dedicated blockchains for specific applications. Benchmarking Turing complete languages for smart contracts on permissionless blockchains, proof of liabilities and mathematical validation using Merkle's sum proof and KZG commitment, private layer 2 ZKP transaction on public blockchains. We were so impressed with the detail and depth of research and the findings from the students. It was a very close call, but we had to pick a winner. And as you can see, they are working. Now, I see this post from possibly a Link community member. The only thing that should settle this Quant and Link debate is to take a look at the activity on GitHub. I mean, okay, fair enough. Let's have a look at this. Some decentralized utopian maxis can't accept the fact that many of these enterprise initiatives are done behind closed doors and not on GitHub, where there's actual value and not DeFi playgrounds. There needs to be some privacy and security. And we've got to understand why this is. You've also got to look at the differences. Quant Network is a company that is centralized. Other entities within this asset space that are more decentralized. But we also have to look at the areas where the Quant network is decentralized, and we know what they are. So I see this tweet from Crypto Leonard da Vinci, and I thought this was really good, a really balanced view. So, okay, done some research on Quant. The reason why their GitHub no update is because they want to protect their coding. Absolutely agree with this. So this project is not totally decentralized since their main targets are banks and enterprise, which is fair enough. Well, I wouldn't say their main targets are banks. They are covering every angle. And this was actually, he was saying this in regards to a quote that he made previously, where he said, Quant, quite popular recently, in my opinion, is just pumping whales game. Look at their GitHub Zero activity screenshot below. Just one of their repositories, basically a ghost town. Don't fall for it, even if it pumped to 1K. Now, he answered his own question there, which I think is fair play, to be fair, because I think he's done his research. He understands why this is the case. Now, I saw this tweet from Greg Lunt. Now, we know Greg Lunt was a proponent of a lot of the quant stuff in the early days, a lot less now, which is a shame because I think he had a lot of ideas and a lot of understanding of what's going on in the quant world. Some of you might not like this, but there are some key points in this that I think is really important. And it does sound almost a little bit negative towards quant, but really, if you read between the lines, what he's actually saying is conceptually true. Although, again, you can make up your own mind. Have a listen.
All right, so I've been getting this question a little bit more recently, which is quant or Bitcoin, okay? And I just need to make a distinction between these two technologies. First of all, the similarities. They are both digital assets. They're both part of the crypto space. They both are volatile in price, and they're both a play on the future of finance, okay? That's all good. There's a main difference between the two that I cannot look past. And this is going to trigger some of the quant maxis, but quant is centralized, okay? Quant is centralized, and there's really no way to debate it. Quant is like the hottest bar in town. You wait online, and then the bouncer decides whether or not you get in. Once you're inside, do whatever the fuck you want. Have a good time. It's lit. But you have to wait online. You have to pay to get in. To use Overledger, Quant Network has to decide that it's okay for you to get in. And even if there's some sort of, permissionless way to just pay QNT tokens through MetaMask or whatever, you still have to show your ID to get approved. Even if that is done in an anonymous way. And then you still have to worry about if you break any of their rules, they can kick you off whenever they want. And if that's not centralized, then I don't even know what the fuck is. And people say it's decentralized just because once you get in, you can, move assets around from network to network. And that's great. That's great. This is a company, okay? You understand what you're investing in here. You're investing in a company run by humans that make decisions based on their best interest. And I don't want to say anything I'll regret, but they can make any decisions they want. Let's put it that way. And just because they're doing one thing one day doesn't mean they can't do something another day. And so I'm not saying you should pull your money out or that there's anything wrong with any of this. I'm just saying you should know what you're investing in, okay? With Bitcoin, you don't have those concerns. It's a different use case and a different upside. I understand the risk reward is different, and to each their own. It all depends on what you're trying to accomplish with your finances and with your future and with your risk tolerance. But at the same time, Bitcoin, you cannot be kicked off the network. If you have internet access, you're live. You can move money. You can utilize the use case for its intended purpose. If you're using Overledger, you're subject to a company's decisions. And so the way that the world is shaping up right now, if we talk about from an investment standpoint, the way that I'm looking at it, and this is just my 2 cents, is that Bitcoin is its own thing. As much as it's linked to the traditional markets right now, and as much as it's linked to the rest of crypto right now, ultimately, and I'm talking ultimately 12 months, 24 months, 5 years, whatever it's going to be, Bitcoin breaks off, in my opinion, and it lives as its own living, breathing thing because it is a play against the confidence in banks, the existing system, and a way to opt out and have your own freedom and your own control over your assets. Quant is not that. Quant is an investment in a company and its network. So again, it might have bigger upside in terms of multiples that you can get, but understand the risk reward and that it may not move just because Bitcoin goes doesn't mean Quant's going to go. And just because X goes doesn't mean Y is going to go. Okay? So just change your, or don't change, just make sure that your perspective on what these instruments are is clear. Okay? Investing in a company may go down when the economy crashes. It doesn't matter about the network effects of QNT. They're not there yet. We need trillions of dollars in that system for the utility to take over. Right now, it's still speculation for the most part. Okay? It's probably 80-90% speculation as far as the price goes. With Bitcoin, the speculation is going to be a lot higher based on the state of the world. If the economy crashes and the banks crash, Bitcoin speculation goes through the roof. Quant speculation goes down, potentially, okay? Because they're not only are they tied to the banks, but just the technology sector in general is going to be at risk when something like that happens. So just understand that they're different use cases. They're completely different centralization structures, and they're not tied at the hip. It's not quant versus Bitcoin. It's decentralization and alternate financial systems versus centralized existing systems. And yeah, I don't mean to overlook the fact that quant connects the two. I understand how it works. I'm just saying that quant will largely be tied to the global financial markets, in my opinion, in the short to medium term, whereas Bitcoin has a chance to live its own life and blaze its own path. So, yeah, just understand what you got invested in.
I totally understand what he was getting at. He says Quant is centralized. That's not entirely true because obviously Quant doesn't just dabble in fintech, it does all sorts of different things within the digital market asset space. Obviously, digital twins, tokenization, all those different things. This is essentially why we as quant holders don't necessarily always feel that it's for retail because you don't have to please us. And this could be why quant isn't pumping at the moment. It does fit into that centralized world when it comes to CBDCs. And we've also got the added factor that people don't like CBDCs, which is fine because it is linked to that real world. And I get that. And that's what I invest in. I invest in the thought of the real world and I invest in the decentralized element of it. And I see this from Tokenizer. Quant went from so undervalued, great connections and partnerships, just a matter of time before the world wakes up. Now it's, wow, what a scam. So many partners, but no price pump. Must be fake. Nothing has changed beside people growing impatient at a bear market. Keep calm. And exactly that. Because with any project, with any investment, it's long term. It's not this short term blazing of price. Although probably what Greg Lund was saying probably will trigger some people, but I totally understand it. And that's why I'm invested in Quant. I had to come up with reasons for why I'd invest into something that was aligned with central bank digital currencies. Why? Because I don't want to get left behind. So when this does end up being, adopted by real world, well, then I have a position with all the regulations and everything that is likely to come in the coming years. I'd rather be in there than not. Please remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. These are all my own personal opinions, so never act upon anything that I say here. Please subscribe, please hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any further videos. All the best, and I'll catch you later.
Remember, this isn't financial advice. Always do your own research.